Hello everybody and welcome to a new video on the channel. I've decided to go through my Blu-ray collection again, but this time it's going to be more of an in-depth thing. Instead of just picking it up, showing the title, I'm actually going to pick it up, read the synopsis, and if I've seen the film I will give you my general thoughts on each film, and I'm going to do that for each of my films. So there might, there won't be, this will be today, there may be one tomorrow, and then there'll be a break as I'm on holiday. But this first one is going to be the numbers and the A's, all of them I'm going to go through, and we're just going to slowly, over the next month or so, work our way through the collection. Just go through every one that I've got. As I say, I'll read the synopsis and I will tell you my general thoughts on the film if I have seen that particular film. But I'm just going to get straight into it because I don't want to go on for so long. If this doesn't interest you, by all means let me know. I'll also tell by the views, but if it doesn't interest you, I shall just stop doing them. But I thought it was a new video idea. I don't really have many other than pickups at the moment, so I thought I'd do this because this will last me a while, and people seem to like Blu-ray collections, and I did say in the last videos people have been asking for a Blu-ray collection, and I thought although I have done two this year already, they weren't really that in depth because there's so many of them, so I'm going to do shorter videos showcasing each one. But let's get on with it. So the first one, whilst technically it isn't a number, the start is, so, and that is Casino Royale, but as is 007, I've put it at the start. The synopsis is pretty simple. James Bond, on his first mission as 007, faces off with a ruthless terrorist financier in a high-stakes poker game that will teach him his most important lesson: trust no one. Obviously, this was kind of like a reboot for James Bond. Some say this is the best Daniel Craig one. I tend to agree. Either this or Skyfall. I haven't seen Quantum of Solace for a long time, but generally that's the worst received Daniel Craig one. I'd need to rewatch it, but I remember enjoying it, and I remember enjoying Spectre when I watched that at the cinema as well. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best. In fact, this is overall one of the best Bond films. Just brings all the classic Bond elements together, and just makes for a great Bond film. So that's Casino Royale. Next up is a Western that I watched recently for the first time, and that is the remake of 3:10 to Yuma, directed by James Mangold, obviously the director of Walk the Line, Logan, and Le Mans '66, and starring Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. I'd heard great things about this, and I managed to pick it up on Blu-ray reasonably cheap. So I thought I'd check it out, and I must say I wasn't that impressed. I think it's definitely overhyped. I didn't think it was a great film. I thought it was rather slow. It bored me in bits. I thought the acting was really good, but it isn't a Western I would particularly rush to watch again. But I will keep it in my collection in case I do decide to watch it again in the future, because I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought that it was rather slow. Didn't keep my interest the entire film, and if you don't get interested for the entire film, then obviously the film isn't great. But I know people that do really like this, but I am just not one of them. I'll read the synopsis quickly. In Arizona in the late 1800s, infamous outlaw Ben Wade, played by Russell Crowe, plagues the Southern Railroad. When Wade is captured, injured Civil War veteran Dan Evans, played by Christian Bale, struggling to survive on his drought-plagued ranch and desperate for money, volunteers to escort him to the 3:10 to Yuma, a train that will take the killer to trial. During the journey, the two men learn grudging mutual respect, but with Wade's cold-blooded gang in hot pursuit, the mission soon becomes a violent, dangerous journey where honor and loyalty clash with far-reaching consequences. So that is 3:10 to Yuma. Next up is a recent pickup that I haven't seen, so I can't give my thoughts on, but it is from the director of Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow. In the same similar vein, this director does similar type of films, and that is 10,000 BC, obviously directed by Roland Emmerich. I'm looking forward to checking this out because I do like his films. As I say, most of them are disaster films, and I do really enjoy watching disaster films. The synopsis for this uh, is this incredible special effects spectacle follows the journey of Delaire, our hero, who must cross an uncharted territory, form an army, and discover an advanced lost civilization before he can fight for his people's freedom and become the champion of time when legend began. That is 10,000 BC. Next up is a film which I think is definitely overhyped. I think people think this is a lot better than it actually is. It won a lot of awards. It won Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay back in 2014. It came out in 2013 and is a film directed by Steve McQueen, starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Fassbender, Benedict Cumberbatch, Paul Dano, Paul Giamatti, Lupita Nyong'o, Sarah Paulson, Brad Pitt, and Alfred Woodard. And that is obviously 12 Years a Slave. It's a good film, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say it's a bad film. It is a 4-star film for me. I just don't think it's quite as good as a lot of people say it is. I think the story is excellent. I think the acting's excellent. But I think it drags a little towards the end and didn't hold my attention towards the end. So for that reason, I knocked a star off of it when I watched it. Still very happy to own it in my collection, and it is one I definitely will be rewatching again because it is still a really good film that I thoroughly enjoyed, but just not as good as people say it is. The synopsis is: it is 1841 and Solomon Northup, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, a free black man from upstate New York, is abducted and sold into slavery. Stripped of his identity and deprived of all dignity, Northup is purchased by the ruthless plantation owner, Edwin Epps, who is played by Michael Fassbender, and must find the strength within to survive. In his 12th year in captivity, a chance meeting with a Canadian abolitionist, played by Brad Pitt, forever alters his life. That is 12 Years a Slave. I think what I'm going to do, because this video is already going on for a while, I will say, I'm just going to do the numbers in this video. I'll do a separate video straight after doing the letters, and I'll post them one today and one tomorrow, so in case I don't have time to make a video tomorrow, you will have one, providing I remember to upload it. But there is a lot, and I am taking a while to explain them, because that is the whole idea, so I will take my time and go through them slowly and just make shorter videos. But there is 5 more, I think. This one is a film I didn't really know much about. I believe I got it for about 50p in CX. It's one of my first Blu-ray pickups. It's directed by Richard Donner. In fact, it is his last directed film. It stars Bruce Willis, Mos Def, and David Morse. A lot better than I've heard people say it was. I did quite enjoy it. It's a pretty good short thriller. That's pretty enjoyable if you take it for what it is, and that is 16 blocks. Yeah, I had a fun time when I watched this. Better than I'd heard people say it was. Not a fantastic film, but it's an enjoyable one, and at 90 minutes, well, 102 minutes, one I am likely to watch again, because I did enjoy it. The synopsis is: Bruce Willis hit the mark as Jack Mosley, a broken-down New York City police detective who is assigned to escort a petty criminal played by Mos Def from the precinct to the courthouse. The seemingly simple 16-block journey becomes a test of character for them when Jack's, ex-partners attempt to stop them. It's the gripping story of how two men change each other during a tense 118-minute struggle between life and death. That is 16 blocks. Next up is another award-winning film that did deserve awards. I think there are other films that could have had awards as well. This deserved Best Picture the year it came out. Unfortunately, it did not get that. It is a film directed by Sam Mendes. It's a great war film, and that is 1917. I really enjoyed this. Liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I'm not a massive fan of war films, but this is a really good one, up there with Saving Private Ryan. I just loved how it's all meant to be shot like a one-shot film. Beautiful cinematography, beautiful score in the background, really good acting. So yeah, really enjoyed this. So I'm very happy. I may get it on 4K at some point, because I'm sure the 4K looks excellent. But I've not actually seen it since the cinema, so I've not even watched the Blu-ray yet. So we'll just have to wait. But in case you don't know, the synopsis is: at the height of the First World War, two young British soldiers, Schofield, played by George McKay, and Blake, played by Dean Charles Chapman, are given a seemingly impossible mission. In a race against time, they must cross enemy territory and deliver a message that will stop a deadly attack on hundreds of soldiers, Blake's own brother among them. That is 1917. 3 more to go. Next up is one of Chadwick Boseman's last film, underrated thriller. I really enjoyed it. I've seen it twice now. I did watch it as soon as I got it on Blu-ray because I remember liking it at the cinema. It was produced by the Russo brothers. As I say, stars Chadwick Boseman in one of his final roles, and I think it's a really good thriller. 21 Bridges. Yeah, this is mixed bag for most people, but I think it's pretty underrated. Pretty fun. It does what it sets out to do. Really good cast. Chadwick Boseman's excellent in this, and yeah, really happy to have this. Well, as I am with most of my Blu-rays that I've seen in the collection. And the synopsis is: after uncovering a massive conspiracy, an embattled NYPD detective, played by Chadwick Boseman, joins a citywide manhunt for 2 young cop killers. As the night unfolds, he soon becomes unsure of who to pursue and who's in pursuit of him. When the search intensifies, authorities decide to take extreme measures by closing all of Manhattan's 21 bridges to prevent the suspects from escaping, and it also stars Sienna Miller, Taylor Kitsch, and J.K. Simmons. That is 21 Bridges. Next up, we have one of the best comedies of all time, in my personal opinion. This is this specific director's first film. Very soon I shall have all of his films because I've just ordered 2 more, which hopefully will come today, which are the last 2 I needed for the collection of his films that he's directed. Personally, I think that each of his films, the first one is the best, the newest one is the weakest. All 4 5-star films, personally for me. This is definitely his best. As I say, it's one of my favourite comedies of all time, and that is Judd Apatow, directed, obviously, a film directed by Judd Apatow, starring Steve Carell, and that is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. What a fantastic film. As I say, I believe this is the best of his films. I watched Knocked Up for the first time recently, and now I have seen I've seen all of his directed films. I personally think that they get better. How do I say this word this right? Each one isn't as good as the next, but they are all still fantastic films. But I think personally, comedy has gotten weaker because we're all very PC now, and you're not allowed to say stuff, you're not allowed to do stuff. But back when this and Knocked Up and Funny People, when all they came out, wasn't such the same world as it is now, which made for funnier films. I think his newer films are still just as funny, but I think these are done better. And The 40-Year-Old Virgin, as I say, is one of my favourite comedies of all time. The synopsis is: Andy, get my words out. Andy Stitzer, played by Steve Carell, has gone 40 years without doing it. Now his pals are making it their mission to help him score fast. Can he survive the hilariously bad advice? Will he land in the arms of the way too experienced or the way too drunk? Or can he find true love where he least expects, from a gorgeous grandmother played by Catherine Keener? That is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And the final one for the numbers is one of my favourite romantic films of all time, directed by Mark Webb, who did both of the Amazing Spider-Man films, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel, and that is 500 Days of Summer. This is a very unconventional love film. As the tagline says, this is not a love story, this is a story about love, which it is. It is not doesn't play by any of the rules that a normal romance film would, and I just absolutely love it. There is it fourth person, third person, where you break the barriers? I don't know. I'm not all too much up on that, all that sort of stuff. But there's a great scene with a song by is it Simon and Garfunkel? I want to say. No, Hall and Oates. Sorry, not Simon and Garfunkel. Hall and Oates. In the middle of this film, which is just great. I just personally really love this film. I think it's a really good depiction of what most romances are like. Um, so yeah, the synopsis is: in this anti-romantic comedy about love and fate, a young greeting card writer played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt is hopelessly, helplessly searching for the girl of his dreams, and his new co-worker, Summer Finn, played by Zooey Deschanel, may just be the one. But 500 days of their offbeat relationship reveal, in no particular order, that the road to happiness can be unpredictable, uncontrollable, and unbelievably funny. As I've said, this is not a love story, this is a story about love. That is 500 Days of Summer. And that is all my numbers for my Blu-ray collection. I will clarify, there are more. Obviously, I've got my 4Ks, my Disneys, my Marvels, my DCs, Tarantino, Nolans, but I'll do them right at the end, even though they are at the start, but I wanted to go in this order. But they will be gone through when I get to them. But that is my numbers. Um, Good job that I didn't do the A's as well, because this video is almost 20 minutes long, and I can imagine how long it would be because the A's are quite big. So I'll stop now, I'll do the A's, and you see this one today, and you'll probably see the A's tomorrow. But thank you for watching. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a like. If this isn't the video for you, or if you don't think I should continue doing this, please let me know down in the comments. Obviously, whatever you would like, I will decide, because at the end of the day, I'm making this for all the people that like watching me, as well as because I enjoy doing this sort of thing. But yeah, let me know in the comments as well if you've seen any of these films, if you own any of them. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn the notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded onto the channel. That's it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.